Good morning, good morning, good morning. Hello, good morning. Yeah, I'm dark. I'm actually getting dressed, to be honest. I've had a night in the van. Last weekend I was in the Faroe Islands, and I'm sure you've already seen the videos. This weekend I've got a day to myself, and then I'm on a workshop tomorrow. So I thought I would have a look and see what the weather was doing. Come local to where I'm doing my workshop. And yeah, I was trying to find some fog, and I found some. I was looking through my Clear Outside app last night, and excuse me, I've got no trousers on. Yeah, I was looking through my Clear Outside app, and I looked at Padley Gorge, I looked at Stanage Edge, I looked at Curbar Edge, and I haven't been to Curbar Edge for a long time. Close your eyes. Yeah, I haven't been there for a long time, so it come up with some fog. So what that'll do me, Curbar Edge it is. And I thought, well, let's head over to Curbar Edge. There was some fog intended. It said it might rain. Well, I've literally got up, I haven't put my glasses on, I haven't washed my face, I haven't brushed my teeth, I haven't done anything yet. I've got up, opened the curtains, cleaned the windows, and yeah, getting dressed. So we have got some fog outside. I am going to head outside, but it is raining. This is the thing, it is raining, so I'm not sure on what we're going to get, but I'm hoping I'm going to get something a little bit more subdued, atmospheric, with a little bit of colour, because it is autumn after all. It's the last weekend, it's Halloween weekend, last weekend of October, so the clocks are changing tomorrow. So let's see if we can get a little bit of colour, some mist maybe, and the rain just might help. So I'm going to finish getting dressed, and I'll see you outside. I feel like I'm a little bit overdressed for the occasion. I've got my bag on my back, and I've got my thicker coat on, and I've got my base layer on as well. Tripod is going on the camera. I've got the long lens on because I think the long lens is going to be better for trying to get those foggier, mistier images, because the closer you get to things, the fog disappears. So I'm put the long lens on with my lens hood. I put a bag over it, and I'm just going to carry it on the tripod. I've got my small tripod out. The small tripod, this is my Sunway Photo T2840CE. I've not used it a lot, but this is my smallest of the bunch of three. This is the little young lady of the family. Big Daddy's down there, and he's coming out tomorrow when we get into the Woodland down at Padley Gorge. So yeah, I'm just going to use this a little bit lightweight, or lighter, and just walk around and see what I get. I might get too warm dressed like this, but I'll take it nice and gentle this morning. I'm in no rush. I've just spent an hour in the van, messing around in the van, so the rain's been coming and going and coming and going. So let's get going and see what we can find. And the first shot is actually right outside the van, just here. There's a tree all on its own, surrounded in fog. So you're probably thinking to yourself, why Curbar Edge? Why would Mr. Compton want to walk around up on the top of a ridge in the fog when you cannot see anything? Well, yes. Why would I? I'm not sure how long the fog's staying in. Looking at these conditions, it could be some time. But also around here, you see things like this. And this is why I like coming on these little expeditions. You see that wheel just about there? That is an old sandstone wheel, and I just think that the conditions, you can take a picture like that with that mysterious background, and it probably works. Also, looking up into the distance, you get trees and that appear from sort of out the fog and things, depending on where you walk. And I won't be taking any risks today. I'm on my own. It is foggy. No one's going to find me if I fall. So I'm just going to walk along the safer part of the edge and just see if something catches my eye. Another little image. I've walked along. I've just taken a shot behind, facing back that way, because you can see the rocks disappearing into the distance, into that abyss of fog. So I've put like a layer in. I've got a foreground rock, then a mid-ground rock, and then this distance rock in the mist. And because that distance rock is so far away, it really does thicken off This is another image I quite like. I just literally picked the camera up, looked through the lens. I thought, oh yeah, I quite like that. It's quite nice. So I've got myself a bit of a composition set up. Lots of fog. I'm going to take another one while the tree's not moving. With the wind, it's moving a little bit, so I've gone up to ISO 250, probably 320, just to get a little bit more shutter speed. I'm also shooting at about 5.6, 7.1, just so that I can segregate the little sections that I want to segregate. And I'm just looking at homing in the composition, and on this composition I've got a tiny weeny little bit of rock down in the bottom right hand corner, and I'll put it on the screen so you can see it. There's a bird just landed. Let's get that bird. Lovely. What a treat you are. Move over to the other corner of the rock, give me better still. He's a bit low, but there is a bird in the picture, which is quite nice. Yeah, so there's a little tiny bit of rock, and I just need to get rid of that bottom corner, but I like the flow through it, the diagonal line, and then hopefully you'll just be able to see those browny colours. It looks like a beech tree down there. You can see them orangey browny colours in the mist. So that's another one taken. That's a couple, and I just like to take photographs, as I've said before. So let me just give this a mention. I want to mention my setup today. This is from Sunway Photo. The whole kit that you can see in front of me is from Sunway Photo, apart from this little tiny little bit on the side here. But this is the T2840CE carbon fiber tripod. Very lightweight, very, very easy to use, and it's got a center column, which is something, if I put my foot on the bottom, it's something that you don't see me use very often. But the beauty of having that center column means I can be lightweight and still get a bit of height if I need to. This has got two sections out, so it's still plenty big enough for me. But on the head, they've just recently sent me a leveling head. So I've got this nice silver, matching silver leveling base. The leveling base, if I can see the numbers on it, is a DYH68. I will put the picture up on the screen and in the description for you. Very, very nice leveling head. It basically means I can move that around and level my camera off. And it's one of those leveling heads, it doesn't just fall away. It stays quite nicely. And then on the top of that, I've got a ball head. Yes, you heard me, I said I've got a ball head, and I'm trying this out. I just want to see if I can still use a ball head, and ideally I wanted something lighter than having the geared head on the top. This has got a quick release clamp, which is absolutely perfect. I love them, so I can flip it from horizontal to vertical very, very quick and easy. You've got two knockouts, so you can flip the camera over sideways very nicely. You've got a great big dial on the side for locking it off. You've got a pano dial on the side, so you can pano with it. And you've got a tensioner. And at the moment, if I just release this, you see my camera doesn't fall down, but I can still move it. So I've got the tensioner set that I can actually let go of the camera without having to worry about it falling over. This is a really, really, really nice ball head, and then just lock it off and it's nice and solid. This is the Sunway Photo XB44. It is really, really well made and really, really nice. I'm very pleased with this. I'm gonna try it out for a little bit. The only issue I have, and this is a massive, massive, massive issue, is underneath that ball head is a bubble. There's a bubble on that leveler head, but if you cannot see that bubble, you cannot get your tripod level. So I'm going to try and find a smaller head to fit on here, but if not, I don't know, I might have to change the leveling base or something. I don't know what I'm going to, my finished setup, I'm not 100% sure, but I just wanted to make a point and show you those. They have been kind enough to send them to me, so I just thought I'd put them in the video and let you know what I'm using today. So that's my lightweight setup. Let's carry on into the abyss and see what else we can find. But yeah, I think that's going to be quite a nice little image. A little bit of colour in that thick, foggy mist. So now I've come down a little bit, you can see that I'm lower than the rocks behind me. I think I was missing, or I am missing something, because the trees along this lower ridge are like silver birch, so they're getting all these nice colours on them. I've got a cracking little composition set up at the moment, but because I've got the 70 to 300 on, I'm quite tight. I think I need to just take an opportunity to get one slightly wider, because the tree is totally filling the frame, and I like it, don't get me wrong, I really like it, because you can see these nice browns in the bottom. Here comes the rain. The browns in the bottom, and then these lovely little yellow coins on the tree. Really, really nice. Also there's a nice view looking sideways on as well. You've got this nice diagonal line, the rocks, and then the trees hidden in the fog. But I think the fog's got that that thick now that I need to get a bit closer to these trees. Now there is a sort of like a rambling path along the bottom of this edge, so I'm going to see if I can pick up a path, get in between these trees, because I think that's the opportunity I need. Get in between the trees, pull out the colours a little bit, and that way I should be able to get colour and fog behind it to sort of soften the background. So that's my plan at the moment. But just have a look at this one and tell me what you think. It's quite tight in the frame, but do you like it? Let me know in the comments, because I do. I've got another composition set up, and I've just got the tripod just balanced on a rock slightly, and as much as I like the ball head, I'm much more used to having a geared head, very controllable, very precise, and yeah, I've forgotten to do this up a couple of times when I've picked the tripod up, and it's sort of not good. Now I'm actually in manual focus, which for me is extremely rare, but it's because I'm not sure whether the actual autofocus is picking up the focal point. So because it's foggy, I don't want to miss the focal point, and the focal point for me is obviously the trees in the background. So I'm manual focusing with focus peaking on, and then what I'm doing is I'm just zooming in and then just fine tuning so that the leaves are peaking on the back of the screen. Now if you don't know what focus peaking is, I'll just flip you around in a second, I'll show you, but it's very easy to use if you've got eyes like mine, because it's very difficult to focus on different things when you wear glasses. But I actually think this is quite a nice image. There's a few little medallion-y leaves along the pathway, and there's a nice diagonal path and a couple of trees in front of it, and then the fog in the background, so there's no distractions going on in the back. I think this one's quite nice, and there's possibly a little tiny bit of heather just in the bottom corner. If I go to 18mm and just widen it right out, I might just be able to get that little bit of heather right down here in that bottom corner, because I think that'd be quite nice. 2-second timer, leading line from the bottom corner, path leading through, and I actually think if this processes as well as what I can see it on the camera, I think this will turn out really nice. Just take one more, make sure my focus is somewhere where I want it to be. I'm f8 at ISO 250, which is just giving me enough speed to snap the shot, and then the lens cap goes back on just so that I don't get water on the lens. Very nice and atmospheric, but it can be quite difficult as well to shoot in. Right, focus peaking. Let's have a spin you around. So if I get my lens in a way that you can see it, and I'm going to zoom in, hopefully it will focus on this screen for you. So what I do is I've got this button that I can punch in. As I hit this button, you'll see the screen punches in 100%, and my focus point is there at the moment. So as I punch into that, that's where it takes me to. Now it's probably really difficult to see on the back of this screen, but you can just see the branches there, and if I twist my focus now, hopefully you'll be able to see that there's a little shimmer happens on the screen, and that little shimmer is your focus peaking. So when those shimmering, I've got mine set to red, so when that's shimmering on those tree branches, you know that when you punch out that shot is focused. Okay, now you can focus on anything. You can focus down here on these bushes down there, punch in 100%, and you can see that I'm focused on them bushes, and if I move that around, it's now out of focus. But as I bring that round and that focus point comes into play, you can see everything there is starting to go sharp, and it's all starting to peak. So with the focus peaking, you know that everything in that position there, down in that bottom part of the image, now I can actually take that as well, because that'll give me a focus stack, so I know that everything down in this bottom part of the image is sharp, and then I know everything over in that part of the image is sharp. And again, you can actually even focus on the far distance tree. So bring my focus point up to the top, up the top there, punch in 100%. We're now on that tree, and you can see that where I was before, that is still in focus, reasonably in focus. You just twist the focus ring. The beauty with this camera is I can actually have it in manual and autofocus at the same time, so I can autofocus with my back button, because I've got my back button focus there, so I can focus on that and take the shot without the focus moving, and use the manual ring on the front to get that just sharp where it is. And when I go back out, I know that that is perfectly sharp. So everything in that image, if I take another one, everything in that image that's focus peaked, which is all this bit down here at f8, everything there is pretty much reasonably in focus. So it seems to me as I seem to be getting myself in a bit of a pickle. The path behind me, if you can see there, I've just rambled my way sort of down and through that lot, and then the path in front of me, it sort of goes that way into a ramble and a bit of a stumble. But I have stopped and taken a picture of this little tree just there. I just hope that it's worth the effort, but it really does stick out against all the ones that have lost their leaves. But it definitely seems like I'm getting myself stuck in a position. It's not an actual path. I'm going to carry on making my way that way, and hopefully I can find a way up. But at the moment I've got a sheer rock face behind me, so there's no way up. But I'd like to be able to get myself in a position where I know I'm in good safety and not rambling through thorns and bracken. Well, not thorns, but bracken. So I'm going to keep going right for a moment and see what happens. But yeah, if there's no end to this video, you know what happened. So I've possibly got another really nice shot. I'm just taking it at the moment. I know it's subdued. It'd be really nice if I could just get a little bit more. I've got to be careful where I put my feet. Now I have just walked across a little bit, and I can see there's a slope going up just that way, so I can work my way up there back to the top. But I'm in the thick of these little trees at the moment, and the mist on my eyes it's just eased off. I've got a bit of depth, but because I'm looking down, I've got the tripod. I'm going to show you my tripod. This is something I'm not used to doing. Look at this, I've got it right up above my head, but I've got to do this because I've actually got one leg perched on the edge of the rock, the other one's on the rock near my foot that I can't move, and the other one's wedged in the soil behind. And it's the only way I can get the elevation to look over the rock in front, because there's a rock there and I need to look over, and it is just clipping the bottom right hand corner. So there's a possibility that I may just have to clone it out a little bit. But what a lovely shot, it really is. You've got this tree that's big and brash and bold in the image. Well, not big, it's there in the image. I'm going to go for a wider shot as well, and again that branch is still in that corner, but because I'm going wider, and again I'm still manual focus, auto and manual focus, so the auto's not quite there, so just home it in a little bit with a manual, just like that. The focus peaking is great in these conditions. Yeah, I'm going to go for a wider shot. This one particular tree, it's wider and different to the others. I don't think it's a silver birch. It's obviously a smaller, gnarly looking tree, but it's just, everything's soft and the colours are beautiful. If the light ever broke here, this would be gorgeous. But yeah, the tripod is up curiously high, and definitely an interesting way to be using my centre column, which, like I say, I'm not used to using because I don't have one. I don't have one on my other two tripods, so this is a nice little a nice sort of pleasure. I can't go any further forward because I can't work away getting down, and I can't take a risk on my own. I've taken enough risk just getting to where I am. So yeah, let's pack this away. Let's get up onto the top so we know we're in safety, and just see if I can find another path that leads me down somewhere else. And if not, I'll finish the video, because you know me, they're getting longer and longer. shelter behind this rock, I'm back up on the top now. So I'm back up on the decent footpath. But you can see I've got my plastic bag on me camera. It's just to keep most of the water out. And what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to get me lunch out. I've got a croissant-y type thing. When I get my straps out of my bag, that is. I've got a croissant-y type thing and an apple and some water. I'm going to get that down me because I don't know what the time is, but the time must be ticking on. I've been wandering around for ages. So let's see what we're on. 20 past 12. It's not bad, is it? Always go back and do a bit of editing and stuff. Some people over there in the fog. I'm going to carry on a little bit because I'm not sure if this is the location that's got some more sandstone wheels in it on the top. If it is, I'll see if I can get a shot of that. But also I know that further down that way you can walk into a woodlands. I think it's Froggates or Frog something woodlands. So I'm going to go that way. I'm just going to keep walking, I think, and have a look, see what happens. I'm going to finish the video here, I think, because if something does happen and I find some images, I can always start another video, can't I? Conditions aren't changing much. The fog was coming and going a little while just now, and I was going to do a time lapse and watch it blowing past, but it's blowing past that quick. I just put a normal video on. But I don't think it's changing enough to get anything more spectacular. These rocks are amazing. I just love these patterns on these rocks. I can't stop taking my eyes off them. So yeah, I'm going to finish up here. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Give us that thumbs up, very important. If you don't know what to say, just put hi in the comments. That's all you've got to do, put hi. And that's all you've got to, that just helps the algorithms and stuff like that. I've got 2 calendars left for 2023. If you're interested, I'll put a link in the description to take you over to the website, and you can get one of the last 2 that's going. So hopefully, yeah, I can clear them for this year. Be nice. Till next time, ciao for now. See you soon, and don't know what the conditions are. Come out and shoot, and don't forget to try that focus peaking, because it really is helpful when you wear glasses and your dodgy eyes and the focus points isn't that clear because of the fog. Focus peaking really does help, and I'm hoping you've seen a couple of images that are a little bit different to the norm. Bye bye.